Hello everyone, it is Monday and I've already done the poll for the themes for the week by day and I do keep track of those, so you're going to see the entire week here, and then I'll show you individually, and then we'll talk about how that theme or energy interacts with that day. We've also pulled the interaction, overall theme, challenges, and learning experience for the week as well. So this week, we're working with our overall energy being effortless, and waterfall is our guide there, and just energy flow. Working around things, just kind of letting it happen naturally. There's no force in this. There's no, just kind of, it's more like observation and just letting the flow happen. The Milky Way is our challenge for the week in perspective. And with perspective, we want to focus on using that third eye, and again it goes back to the observation, and kind of doing that, just being aware of the myopic vision versus the big picture vision, and when the smaller point of view is more beneficial and when the big picture is more beneficial. So sometimes those are separate, sometimes it's a little bit of an interaction with those, and we'll kind of see how that plays out during the week, day by day. And you know, it's also, that challenge is also a reminder, you know, that we're created from the earth, but we're also created from the stars. And so that connection is there always. So we just kind of want to make sure that we're just being mindful of that. And then our lesson for this week is going to be the veil, or fog. And so, you know, when we're in a foggy area, we're not really clear on what's going on around us. There might be confusion. There might be conflicting sources of information or energy that's going on. And sometimes there can be a lot of peace when there's a veil or you're walking through fog. You know, if you've ever walked around on a foggy day or a foggy evening, there's a quietness about it, a peacefulness about it that can be there as well. But I think that the overall look on that is more in observation and just letting information come in, not thinking too much on it. This is more of a passive energy this week. And then by the end of the week, it'll be interesting to see how this veil of information and experiences starts to lift. It should bring a bit more clarity as we move through the week. So we'll kind of see how that moves along. We're gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and get this going. So, and I also have, I did a poll on the vote just to see what would happen, and so I'll fill you in on that towards the end of the video, so stay tuned for that, because there's kind of a funny little thing that happened when I was doing that, so I'll explain that in just a little bit. So hello Earth Energy, thank you for letting me be an instrument of your insight, support, and guidance. As we open the message you share with us today, Spirit guides show me clearly your message for today. Let's see what we have going on. We're also going to go do a self-care card as well today. these right now, but I'm going to wait to pull that little charm. And then let's go ahead and see what Monday has in store for us today. Okay. So we have the effortless effort, going with the flow. We have the perspective, small versus big. We have the veiled, and just being mindful, that third eye, again, just kind of letting the energy happen and letting it flow around us. No decisions, staying away from that, not forcing anything this week, not pushing. So the Magician, this is manifestation. Yeah, so skill, just kind of those natural talents. So again, this is like, so the skill with this and the natural talents, there's nothing forced in this. The creativity, so that powers of manifestation. This is really about just letting this energy flow through. Pretty strong message for this week. So, all right, focusing your energy. There's action in this. This is really a passive energy and a passive action. There's no inaction with it, but it's it really is going with the flow on this one. And I'm not even, this isn't a challenge position. So I think the only challenges that are really going to happen today are trying to force things, trying to make them happen before maybe their time. So I would just, kick back and relax a little bit today. It might be too that, some of the things that have been going on the past couple of weeks, there's been a lot of focused energy in there, a lot of action in that, where maybe a lot of our work has already been done for us, especially a couple of weeks ago when we did a lot of shadow work. This week we're just not really having to work as much. This is a lot of, not necessarily soft energy, but a lot of energy that's maybe just, the wheels are already in motion and we can just kick back with that. Today's energy to use is the Six of Wands, and it's in shadow, and so instead of going for the spotlight, we actually want to step back and maybe not be so public today. We don't need that attention today. Kind of an inner flexion, turning into your inner compass, to define your successes that you're experiencing today. And today the most important person to impress is really about you. It's yourself. This is really, this whole thing is just a really, it's a balanced energy, very balanced. It feels good. Feels very good. It's like a completion, a wholeness to it. I think too that there's that inner flexion that all of this is kind of talking about, and being more the watcher, or using more of your third eye. It's that introspection. This is your own energy. This is your own magic. And enjoying that space and watching those natural manifestations happen. Now, the energy to avoid, generally we like the King of Wands, because this is someone who has a lot of energy. They're very positive, they're successful, very energetic, they're skilled, and this could be somebody in your life. It could also be aspects of your own personality. It might be the energy for you for the day. But in this instance, it's an energy to avoid. So as we look at that energy and what that might be, this might be somebody that is successful in their own right. But if we maybe are around that person, and that's the kind of, and this could be a female too, if that's the kind of energy that they're exuding, that might be somebody where they could actually dim our light a little bit. Sometimes when people are super successful or further along than we are, they can say or do something that is maybe not as positive for us, or as emotionally, materially, or spiritually uplifting or helpful. So we might want to avoid somebody like that, where maybe it's somebody we normally go to or might be drawn to, because this is generally a very charismatic person as well. Because we're so much into introflexion, and because we're using that third eye and observation, that this energy today, we want to subdue that a little bit and maybe be avoidant with that. And this also goes towards big pictures and grand ideas. And maybe we're really kind of needing to focus a little bit more introspectively, and definitely not making any, unless it really, really flows and it just happens on its own. Today's not a day to start another big project or take actions towards that. Take notes, but don't take action in it. Not today. And then today's energy to focus on, or the positive energy, is the Nine of Pentacles. And so that spiritual and material satisfaction, which kind of goes in to play with all of this. So using that third eye and just naturally letting things happen today, the personal achievements that you've accomplished so far, and spending some time alone and process and praise your progress that you've made, especially through the past couple of weeks. So, and then stepping into your own manifested hopes and dreams. So this is a lot of introflexion today, and a lot of really good stuff here, but it's like, it almost feels like it's time to give yourself a big hug, and anything that seems confusing or you're not very clear on, it's okay. Just go with the flow today. You'll get some clarity here coming up soon. So that's it for the reading. I did want to talk to you a little bit. Let's go ahead and pull our self-care card. And today it's pleasure. So whatever you find pleasure in, go through and make that a happy moment for yourself. And then I did this funny little thing earlier. So I got my mail-in ballot today, and I went ahead and I pulled an oracle card on it just to kind of see what the energy was like. And I pulled this card, and then I decided, for whatever reason, I was just like, I don't know, let's go ahead and pull another one just to kind of see. So I shuffled the deck, split the deck, shuffled again, and I pulled the same card. So this is why oftentimes you'll hear me, if I have my video doesn't work or whatever, this is the poll that we had, this is what we're using, this is the message that's been delivered to us, and this was reinforcement as to why I do that. So to be able to pull exactly the same card out of a deck twice, that's kind of saying something. So it's the whale breach, and my question is what kind of energy would we get out of this? And so it was the breached whale, and when we look at that one, it has to do with just letting it go and allowing things to be what they are. Just take a break from it. And part of this is there's breaking through illusion and blockages, and there can be a sense of relief with this. I think regardless of who wins the election, that there will be some release. And definitely a release of illusion. So, whether your person wins or not, there's going to be an aspect of, well, this is what the next 4 years has in store. So whether it's a new president or the one that we currently have, that's what we'll be dealing with. And I think letting that go and letting that energy go, also going through and just kind of releasing maybe old ways that we do things or look at things or perceive things, and I just go into it like it's a fresh start. So that was kind of an interesting little thing there. If you have any questions, let me know. If you'd like a personal reading, go ahead and go over to the Etsy page. You can give me details and questions over there. There's also other polls that you can do over there. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. It's a new page and just getting things up and moving, so we'll have a lot more videos to do. We'll also have different polls and that sort of thing as we move along, and I do like to change the decks around and that sort of thing. Just makes it more interesting, that, and it's what energy is speaking to us as well, kind of determines what decks are being used. But anyway, enjoy, and thank you so much for joining.